Alright guys, we are going to make a beet cocktail. Pretty famous for it. A lot of vitamins enriched. Pretty much everything you see out in front of me is pretty much what we put in here. Main ingredient are beets. Yummy, don't they look? Basically what you'll do is you need a Vitamix mixer. And what you're going to do is put your beets. As you can see, I've already chopped up some beets. Probably want about a half a beet per mixture. What I'm going to do is I usually mix it up with the beets and stuff like that and put it in a container like that and just go from day to day using that. Get this on. Take your Vitamix, put a little water in with those beets. And then you just start the blending. You want to start it at low first, kind of emulsify it. Here we go. What you do is you're actually breaking up everything. And you keep adding the beets in there as it's mixing. And it's liquefying them, basically, to a mulch. As you can see, still emulsifying everything. Go ahead and turn it up. Basically now it's liquefying everything. I'm going to turn it down. What you'll see is your mixture will start getting thick. That's from all the fiber and everything. While your beets are mixing up, what I do is I'll add a couple carrots in here, wash them off, put the skin on, cut the edges off, break up the carrots, throw them in, about 2 carrots. Throw them in and throw them in. We'll go ahead and put some more beets in there. I love big beets. See all that fiber that's coming out. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on high for a little bit. What it's doing is emulsifying everything. Okay, I'm going to let it keep stirring. Then what I like to do, almost got the consistency of a milkshake right now. One thing I like to add is some yellow squash. It's got a lot of vitamin C in it. Just cut it up, put it in the mixture. Make this, and this is about enough for a week. With about 5 or 6 cocktails, but this is your base. Add a little more water. I'm going to kick it on high again. Make sure everything is ground up. Take it on high again. Let that run for a minute. What it's doing is mixing up everything. Let it run for about 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. I'm going to pour some of this stuff into the container. This stuff is messy. But you can see the thickness of it. What you're going to do is pour about half of this in there, and then we're going to keep going. Going to add some more stuff in there. Basically, this is our base with a bunch of beets in there. But now, I'm going to go ahead and add another yellow squash. And see, you don't have to cut it into small pieces as long as it's chunked up. You can put a zucchini in there or anything. What I'll usually do with the beets, I'll put cut halfway about the stem and put those in there too. What I also use is kale. About 3 or 4 pieces of good kale. Break it off, rinse it off real quick. Break up the kale, put it in there. Stick it down there, a little more water. Put some of that mixture back in there. Now what we're going to do is blend it again. Start it on low, and run it. Mix it, you'll hear it just start to like more water in there, it makes it a little bit more liquefied. Now hurry it up, let it play. One thing you want to do when you blend it, you make sure that it is all blends. You don't want any chunks or anything in there. And as you can see, it's a lot of stuff going in there. And here we go. Now what I do is this little mixture I just made up with your beets, your yellow squash, your kale. You can also put an apple in there if you wanted to. But what I do is I mix this up, and this is what I keep in the refrigerator. I keep this, and what I'll do is every day I get my Vitamix out. I'll show you here in a second. Let me rinse it off. I'm just going to make a small one. Take my Vitamix, my mixture, pour it in here. Just a little bit, maybe about 2 or 3, maybe about a half cup. And what I'll do is get a banana. Put a banana in there. leave the peels out. I take the kiwi. This is the stuff that's pretty much already cut up, but I'll take maybe a half a kiwi and throw it in there. I don't put any ice in it because what I do is I keep my blueberries, blackberries, and strawberries already frozen. So I'm going to grab a handful of strawberries, put them in there. Some blackberries. Some blueberries. Blueberries are really good for you. Blueberries. And I also will put a little bit of yogurt in there. I prefer to get a flavored yogurt. It's up to you guys, whatever you like. This week I got raspberry. You can use that to flavor it, and it takes a little bit of the bitterness of all the vegetables out of there. Just take a little bit and pour it in. Gives it kind of that smoothie texture. Put my blueberries in. What I'll also do, I take a handful of spinach, just the baby leaves or anything with stems and everything on there, and put that in there. You can also, and I don't have any, but you can put honey in there. Honey will sweeten it up, and it's good for allergies during the spring. So let me put my cover on there. Blend this on high. Believe it or not, the berries and everything, when they're frozen, it's going to keep everything nice and cold and be like a smoothie. You can just see how all that stuff gets mixed up. Just let this emulsify, turn on high. Got that all mixed up, and what I do is try to, every morning I take a large mason jar and I fill that up. I only did about a half one today. But what I'll do is fill that up. Bon appetit.